Previously on the NQE. The rainbow. This is a reminder of God's mercy. Drunkenness, shame, embarrassment, resentment, hardship. They exist in this second go-around for humanity. The observance of God is prioritized by Noah. So looking ahead, in this episode number 4 of the NQE, we're going to go through Genesis 10 through 12. Genesis chapter 10. These are the descendants of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. The sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmath. The sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, the Kittim, and the Dodanim. From these the islands of the nations were separated in their lands, each according to its language, by their families, in their nations. The sons of Ham, Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Ramah, and Sabteka. The sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. And Cush begot Nimrod. He was the first to be a mighty man on earth. He was a mighty hunter before Hashem. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before Hashem. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. From that land Ashur went forth and built Nineveh, Rehoboth-ir, Calah, and Resen between Nineveh and Calah, that is, the great city. And Mizraim begot Ludim, Anamim, Lehabim, and Naphtuhim, Parthrahim, and Calsuhim, whence the Philistines come forth, and Caphtorim. Canaan begot Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, the Amorite, the Girgashite, the Hivite, the Archite, the Sinite, the Arvadite, the Semirite, and the Hamathite. Afterwards, the families of the Canaanites branched out, and the Canaanite boundary extended from Zidon, going toward Gerar, as far as Gaza, going toward Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and the Seboim, as far as Lasha. These are the descendants of Ham, by their families, by their languages, in their lands, in their nations. And to Shem, also to him were born. He was the ancestor of all those who lived on the other side, the brother of Japheth the elder. The sons of Shem, Elam, Asher, Arpachshad, Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram, Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Arpachshad begot Shelah, and Shelah begot Eber. And to Eber were born 2 sons. The name of the first was Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided, and the name of his brother was Joktan. Joktan begot Almodad, Sheleph, Hazarmaveth, Jerah, Hadaram, Uzal, Dikla, Obal, Abimael, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. Their dwelling place extended from Mesha, going towards Sephar, the mountain to the east. These are the descendants of Shem according to their families, by their languages, in their lands, by their nations. These are the families of Noah's descendants, according to their generations, in their nations. And from these nations were separated on the earth after the flood. Genesis chapter 11. The whole earth was of one language and of common purpose. And it came to pass, when they migrated from the east, they found a valley in the land of Shinar and settled there. They said to one another, Come, let us make bricks and burn them in fire. And the bricks served them as stone, and the bitumen served them as mortar. And they said, Come, let us build a city and a tower with its top in the heavens. And let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be dispersed across the whole earth. Hashem descended to look at the city and tower which the sons of man built. And Hashem said, Behold, they are one people with one language for all. And this they begin to do. And now, should it not be withheld from them all they propose to do? Come, let us descend, and there confuse their language, that they should not understand one another's language. And Hashem dispersed them from there over the face of the whole earth. And they stopped building the city. That is why it was called Babel, because it was there that Hashem confused the language of the whole earth. And from there Hashem scattered them over the face of the whole earth. These are the descendants of Shem. Shem was 100 years old when he begot Arpachshad, 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived 500 years after begetting Arpachshad, and he begot sons and daughters. Arpachshad lived 35 years when he begot Shelah, and Arpachshad had lived 403 years after begetting Shelah, and he begot sons and daughters. Shelah lived 30 years when he begot Eber, and Shelah lived 403 years after begetting Eber, and he begot sons and daughters. Eber lived 34 years when he begot Peleg, and Eber lived 430 years after begetting Peleg, and he begot sons and daughters. When Peleg had lived 30 years, he begot Reu, and Peleg lived 209 years after begetting Reu, and he begot sons and daughters. When Reu had lived 32 years, he begot Serug. And Reu lived 207 years after begetting Serug, and he begot sons and daughters. When Serug had lived 30 years, he begot Nahor, and Serug lived 200 years after begetting Nahor, and he begot sons and daughters. When Nahor had lived 29 years, he begot Terah, and Nahor lived 119 years after begetting Terah, and he begot sons and daughters. When Terah had lived 70 years, he begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now, these are the chronicles of Terah. Terah begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran begot Lot. Haran died in the lifetime of Terah, his father, in his native land, in Ur-Kasdim. And Abram and Nahor took themselves wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah and the father of Iscah. And Sarai was barren, she had no child. Terah took his son Abram, and Lot, the son of Haran, his grandson, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, the wife of Abram his son, and they departed with them from Ur-Kasdim to go to the land of Canaan. They arrived at Haran, and they settled there. The days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. Genesis chapter 12. Hashem said to Abram, "Go for yourself from your land, from your relatives, and from your father's house to the land that I will show you, and I will make of you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and him who curses you I will curse. And all the families of the earth shall bless themselves by you." So Abram went as Hashem had spoken to him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he left Haran. Abram took his wife Sarai and Lot, his brother's son, and all their wealth that they had amassed, and the souls they had made in Haran. And they left to go to the land of Canaan. And they came to the land of Canaan. Abram passed into the land as far as the site of Shechem, until the plain of Moreh. The Canaanite was then in the land. Hashem appeared to Abram and said, "To your offspring I will give this land." So he built an altar there to Hashem, who had appeared to him. From there he relocated to the mountain east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And he built there an altar to Hashem, and invoked Hashem by name. Then Abram journeyed on, journeying steadily toward the south. There was a famine in the land, and Abram descended to Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was severe in the land. And it occurred, as he was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, "See now, I have known that you are a woman of beautiful appearance. And it shall occur, when the Egyptians will see you, they will say, 'This is his wife.' Then they will kill me, but you they will let live. Please say that you are my sister, that it may go well with me for your sake, and that I may live on account of you." But it occurred, with Abram's coming to Egypt, the Egyptians saw that the woman was very beautiful. When the officials of Pharaoh saw her, they lauded her for Pharaoh, and the woman was taken to Pharaoh's house. And he treated Abram well for her sake, and he acquired sheep, cattle, donkeys, slaves, and maidservants, female donkeys, and camels. But Hashem afflicted Pharaoh, along with his household, with severe plagues because of the matter of Sarai, the wife of Abram. Pharaoh summoned Abram and said, "What is this you have done to me? Why did you not tell me that she is your wife?
Why did you say, 'She is my sister,' so that I would take her as my wife? Now, here is your wife, take her and go." So Pharaoh gave men orders concerning him, and they escorted him and his wife and all that was his.
Humanity is in full swing, round number 2. This guy Nimrod comes around. They develop a brick. Earlier in the book, Noah is talking to his beautiful son Shem and saying, "Son, everybody's going to live in your tents." Nimrod comes around, he says, "You know what, these tents, these are just not going to do. Let's do this brick. We're going to put it in the oven. We've got this little mortar to stick it together. Look at how much stronger this is than these crappy tents." So he goes, probably robs these guys in the tents. He takes away their wealth, their women, kills their men, comes back to his fortified structure, which has got a tower, and he's just laughing to himself and saying, "What are you going to do?" So he builds a name for himself, and he does so through this military superiority. Likely the people in the tents, they're looking at this guy saying, "Hey, Nimrod's really figured this thing out, man. Let's build us some bricks too. And then we'll build a machine that's going to knock his bricks down. Then we can get him with our knives." Or they say, "Let's invent some sort of way to kill them even though they've got bricks. Who cares about the bricks? We'll just find a way to kill them anyway." This is what humanity has for their mind and their thoughts and their ingenuity. God looks at it and says, "No, nope, nobody's going to understand each other from now on. And how about I spread you out all over the whole world?" So the irony is thick. This story continues with lots of genealogy. It ends with a guy, his name is Abram, a descendant of Shem. Noah blesses Shem. God is talking to Abram, and Abram is listening to God. God says, "Move over here." Abram says, "You got it." He moves over there. He stops off at this place called Shechem. He builds an altar to God. God says, "This land right here, this is going to be your land." He keeps moving. He goes to this place in between these two towns. He builds another altar. Here, he invokes the name of Hashem. From here, there's a famine, so he goes to Egypt, where he has to tell his smoking hot wife, "You have to be my sister because they're going to murder me." The wife says, "Husband, I love you." Yes, I will be your sister for these people." They play along, and it works out magnificently for him. Think about this. This guy is listening to God however many months or years before. God says, "Go from this place to this place, and then now you have to go to Egypt." "Oh, I've been listening to you the whole time, God. Now she has to be my sister." Oh, here's the response. Abram gets paid all sorts of donkeys and like camels and maidservants. And to keep Sarai from being molested by these people, the whole household of Pharaoh is struck with plagues. And Pharaoh knows that it's because of the wife-sister situation. So he goes over to Abram. "No, I'm not going to kill you. Here's what I'm going to do. Keep the money and take some royal guards so that nobody else can bother you." Absolutely, this is a situation where God is like, "See, I told you. Just stick with it." And Abram does, and that's the end of the story. And this is the end of Non-Qualified Evangelist Episode 4. Non-Qualified Evangelist Episode 5 is coming up. Stick with us.